to mean exhaustion. Here are 9-year goals that every teacher needs to hear to avoid burnout, get more energy, and build some time into them in the new year so they can be consistent with their fitness goals. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Chrissy Morris, your Teacher 10 online fitness coach and the coach at Teacher Fitness Academy. So I'm here today, guys, to give you some goals for the new year that you can put in place to mean that 2026 is a different year for you. It's something it's going to be a year that allows you to really work on yourself, your goals around the crazy job in teaching. Now, I wanted to really structure this video so that you've got some really actionable steps put in place and some goals with some clear areas, because there's nothing worse than having 1 million goals in place and you just feel like a failure because you're not reaching any of them. So the goals that we're going to work on today are going to fall under 3 main categories. Number 1 is going to be time, number 2 is going to be energy, and number 3 is going to be consistency. We are going to work on these 3 areas, breaking them down into smaller, manageable pieces that you can tick off week in, week out, so that you know that what you're doing is helping you move towards your goals every single week. It's literally something you can write down. If you've ever had a habit tracker before, oh my goodness, they are amazing. You need to get yourself one. But if you've ever had a habit tracker before, you need to start ticking off these goals one by one each and every week so that you know you're getting there and you know you're moving towards your goals and you can actually see the results. Like, it's so rewarding when you do something, put it in place, and you actually see what's going on with it and you can see the benefit from it as well. So we're going to be focusing on these 3 main areas today, and within each of these areas there's going to be some structures, habits and strategies that you can put in place to mean that teaching is not taking over your life quite as much, and you've actually got a little bit of a leeway with the job so you can work on yourself and your fitness goals too. So first of all, we're going to go over time. So let's have a look at what we can do with time to really take hold of that and actually implement some time into ourselves in the new year. Now, I know in teaching, your time is going to be absolutely at rock bottom. I know that you never have time to work on yourself. All of your time gets stuck into the job and sucked into the job. It is quite normal for it to do that. So the question is, how do we actually bring some of that time back? Because I think one of the biggest problems and challenges with my clients or new ladies that I take on board within the Teacher Fitness Academy is that they do not have that time to work on themselves, that time to get their sessions in, that time to meal prep. So therefore they just feel like they're constantly failing and falling off track. So I want to go over some strategies today that I would use as a teacher to make sure I'm getting some time back into my routine and I am able to implement things a little bit more effectively. So my first tip is time blocking. If you guys don't do this, then honestly this is going to change your life. Like, if you get any from this video, then go away and implement this one thing. Time blocking is such a strategy that I've learned within my teaching career, and it helped me so much in terms of my productivity, the work I got done, and how many hours I had in the day left for myself. So I think we know in teaching your to-do list is always going to be never ending, but I think quite rightly so as well. Like, there are times after work where, or during the day, where there's just certain sections of time where we just feel like the day goes and we don't know what's happened. Have you ever been on like PPA and you're like, how on earth has all that time gone and I've actually got nothing done? This is where time blocking is going to really come in and help you. And the beauty of it is with teaching is that you do not need to time block your whole day, because a lot of it is already time blocked out for you. A good chunk of your day you haven't got any control over. But the time blocking that you do have control over are those intervals and breaks throughout the day or throughout the week. So for example, if you've got a free period and you're not teaching, or if you've got PPA one afternoon, there's a spare afternoon for you to do what you want with it. You've got your time after school as well. Now, what I found was when I started time blocking effectively, I got so much more done throughout the week, which gave me more time back in the evenings. So for example, if we look at a normal school day, and we start the day at, say, 9 o'clock teaching, we get into school at 8. That time at the start of the day is setting up the classroom. There's not really any real work that you can do there. You've got the whole day with the children. The only amount of time you've got in the evening is, say, an hour to work on your tasks, your list, your planning, whatever that might be. So on Monday, what I'm going to do with that hour after school is I'm going to stay straight from school from 4 till 5 o'clock, and I'm going to get my resources prepped and printed for the week. That's what that hour is going to be for. That's going to be done. I'm going to put it in my Google Calendar. That's when I'm going to do it. As soon as the time hits 5 o'clock, I'm going to leave. On a Tuesday, I might want to leave work a little bit earlier and get to the gym, but between 6 and 7 at night, night, I am going to get my laptop out. I'm going to do an hour of planning, no distractions. I'm going to get a cup of tea, put my headphones in, an hour of planning on a Tuesday evening. You guys get it. If you start to actually plan in what tasks you're going to do in certain times, you will get so much more time back. You'll be so much more productive. A massive hack around this as well is like setting a timer on your phone. So when the hour starts, you give yourself an hour to do this job. And then once that timer goes off, like you stop. It's Parkinson's law. The more time you give to something, the more time it would take to do that task, right? So if you can tick this off in less time, then you will be winning at that because you're doing it in less time, basically. So time blocking is such an important thing, and it's a strategy that I use within teaching. It's a strategy I use within my business now, and it's something that's so effective for seeing real changes and real results as well. Number 2 is the second one, which is around time, which is leaving on time. This links to your time blocking. You need to have an idea in your head on each days of the week at what sort of time you're going to be leaving on those days. So yes, of course, you can't leave early every single day. I appreciate that. But there are going to be days when you leave later, but I want you to be leaving at that time that you say. So for example, on a Monday, you might leave at 4. On a Tuesday, you might leave at 6. Whatever it works for you is fine, but there needs to be at least 2 days in that week where you are trying to leave that building a little bit earlier, and you need to tell yourself what time you're leaving. If you are in that classroom until 6 o'clock every single night, I can promise you now you are not going to show up as the best version of you the next day. The reason I know this as a teacher is because when I've left the classroom at 6 o'clock at night, I always show up tired, I show up in a bad mood, I show up resentful the next day, and that is not the best version of you in front of those children. But when you leave the classroom at 4 o'clock one day, actually go home, work on yourself, maybe do a couple of bits in the evening on your laptop, and then come back fresh the next day, you show up in a happier mood, you show up more positive, you show up ready to go. And that type of teacher is a better teacher for the children. And you need to remember that. You are not serving that class the best that you can at burnout. And staying until 6, 7 o'clock every single night is not going to allow you to be that best version of you. And actually, sometimes missing some bits off the to-do list is better in the long run for how you teach and how you deliver those lessons. My third area and final area on time is 100% around scheduling. You need to schedule in what you are going to do outside of school. So it's okay you're scheduling in and time blocking in all of our school responsibilities, but when are you actually going to go and get those workouts in? When are you going to get your steps in? When are you going to get your meal prepping in and planning in? When are you going to do the food shop? When are you going to spend some time with your partner, see your friends, family, see your loved ones? When are you going to go and visit grandma at the weekend? Having a rough idea of when you're going to do these things is so important as well, because teaching does take up so much of our time in the week. If we don't actually start to schedule in these extra bits and bobs which we want to do in life, it's very difficult for us to take hold of that time and build it into our routine and see the results that we want to see from it and see the changes that we want to see from it. Be realistic, implement things and strategies and workouts that can actually fit around what you're doing. Spending 2 hours in the gym is not realistic as a teacher on a Monday night. You want to be in and out within the hour, and you want to be able to see those changes from it. These are the 3 main areas that I would really focus on if I wanted to take hold and take back some of my time in 2026 and really value and appreciate where I'm going with things moving forward as well. Now, the next area I wanted to talk to you about around your goals is energy. Energy as a teacher is always so low, especially at this point in the half term. Your energy, you are actually going to be crawling to the finish line, and it's going to be very difficult for you to stay on track and stay consistent with your goals. So what can we actually do with energy to try and bring some of that back so that we are not feeling like we're completely exhausted, completely on the burnout? And this definitely should be under your goal list for 2026. Number 1 is looking at your sleep routine. If you are on the sofa planning lessons or tweaking lessons until 10 o'clock at night, you are going to be thinking about work as you head into bed. Everybody should have some sort of evening routine that you can put in place that you enjoy, that allows you to get off to sleep nice and quickly, and you can really zap that energy back. So whether or not that's having a nice shower before bed, reading a bit of your book, or whether it's winding down and watching telly with your partner in bed, whatever that might be, I want your work to go away. Oh my goodness. Also, this links this so much. If you have Class Dojo or work emails on your phone, get them off straight away. Delete that app. Do not even wait for the new year, because that is ridiculous. You should not have this creeping into your personal life like that. It's not going to do anything for your relationships. It's not going to do anything for your mental health. You need to have control over when those notifications are coming in. And I know that is on your phone, so go and get it off, please. Wind down, have that time, bring that into you, and allow yourself to have a good sleep routine. I know it's easier said than done, but you need to be trying to aim for around 7 hours sleep. That has to be a priority. If you are not getting your sleep in, you are not going to show up as the best version of you in any way, shape, or form. And that's so important to remember. Sleep is key, especially as we get older, ladies. It is key. It is so important important. Number 5 links to all of this. It's the shut off from work. There needs to be a strict shut off time in your head where you are not going to think about work. You are not going to do anything for work. You're not going to do anything to do with teaching, to do with school, to talk about with your partner, whatever that might be. And there needs to be that shut off there, whether it's 8 o'clock, whether it's 8:30. I don't want to be in any later than 8:30. You should be finishing a lot earlier than that anyway, but this needs to be your absolute time. So even on a really busy evening, what's your absolute time where you're going to cut off? No matter what comes up, you're going to deal with it the next day. You are not going to sleep properly, like I've said before, unless you've had that cut off and got everything in place and know exactly what you need to do for the next day. And if you are just doing things more and more until really late into the evening, again, you're not going to sleep properly, you're not going to feel good from it, and you're not going to be showing up as that best version of you in the classroom the next day. My number 3 around energy and preserving energy is all about eating the right food. If you are not looking after yourself and fueling your body with the basics, you cannot expect yourself to show up in a way where you want to in the classroom with energy. We know this with children. When they've not had breakfast, when they've not been eating right, we know they get hungry. We know they're not the best version of them. And we are exactly the same as adults. We're just as bad as the children. You need to be having breakfast every single day. You need to be having lunch every single day. It's not good enough that you're not. And there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't. 5-10 minutes is all it takes to eat your breakfast. You can prep it the night before. You can prep your lunch the night before. It's always got to be something that you can have ready to go. And you can sort of give yourself that time to have it. None of this marking books over lunchtime. Give yourself 20 minutes, half an hour, sit with a co-worker, actually have some downtime and preserve some of that energy back. You cannot be on 100% all of the time, and building in those rest periods, making sure that you're eating right is so important, because you are not going to realistically be the best version of you in that classroom when you're planning those lessons if you're not even eating right throughout the day. Now, my third area that I wanted to focus on in teaching, and this is such a big one, is consistency. I think it's so easy to fall in and out of consistency in teaching because we know what the half terms are like. There's not one half term that's sort of straightforward like this. They're very much like this with workload, where you've got parent consultations, you've got trips, events going on, you've got open evenings, whatever that might look like. I completely get it. Your half terms is not one that looks the same, which means that having a consistent workout plan where we're training at the same time each week is not always realistic or appropriate for you as a teacher. So how can we build that consistency in around the chaos? And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. So number 7 is all linked to consistency. And we need to talk about when it doesn't quite go to plan, because I feel like, first of all, in teaching, there are so many evenings, so many days where things can crop up and have an impact which are completely out of our control. There might be a safeguarding problem. There might be a fight on the playground. You might have to ring a load of parents after school. And then suddenly that time block that you had for one thing is thrown out the window. And I get it. These things happen. It's not realistic to be so strict with our time all the time with teaching. But the thing around being consistent is, I see consistency as a long game, and I really promote this with the ladies that I work with, and anyone who is after a quick fix, I am not your coach, because you need to learn that you are only going to prove consistency when you've given yourself the time to prove that. Because one day doesn't go to plan, it doesn't mean tomorrow can't. And actually the real winners are those that can fight these fires, show that yes, okay, sometimes work does need to take a priority. That's not realistic to say that it can't always take a priority, but actually tomorrow it's not. I'm going to be the priority tomorrow. The real consistency comes with those ladies who can accept that, okay, not every day you are going to be 100% perfect. Some days, even though no matter what you do to try and be consistent, something might pop up, something might creep up, you are going to get back to it because that's who you are as a person. You don't allow this to throw you completely off track. Consistency is about coming back to it time and time again. Imagine you being a little bit like a boomerang. We throw you out, but you come back. We throw you out, we come back. That's what teaching is in fitness. It's about coming back time and time again. And I do believe that in teaching, things can take a little bit longer in terms of your fitness results, because it is hard to be that consistent week in, week out. However, you are still moving in that right direction. Just because Wednesday's not been perfect, it doesn't mean we can't get back on track on Thursday. And that's what we need to keep thinking about, is that cycle of how we're going to get back to it, how we're going to get back to it time and time again. And that's where the real winners are in teaching. Number 8 is being realistic. If you are setting yourself up with 5 or 6 workouts per week as a teacher, that is just not realistic at all. You need to be setting yourself with 3 or 4 workouts maximum as a teacher to get from A to B. And those workouts need to be put in place with intention to see the results that you want to see. They need to make those changes to your body to see the results that you want to see. You need to be tracking what you're doing to see the results that you want to see. And you need to be monitoring your progress as well. Setting yourself up to fail is not going to do anyone a good job. You know that when you give a child a work that's too hard to do, it's impossible for them to stick to it. They don't even try, and that's what's going to happen to you. If your week is impossible to stick to, it's unrealistic, you are not going to even try. Those extra things can be a bonus, and then you'll feel super good from them. But to start with, don't be unrealistic with your goals. Set intentions that are realistic to reach, and go and get them and reach them. And number 9 is all about embracing the chaos. This time of year, especially with Christmas, like, it is so chaotic. There's so many things going on, which make it difficult at times to stay on track. You've got parties, you've got clubs, you've got events, you've got Christmas shows, whatever that might be, parents in. I know what it's like. So you need to embrace this chaos. You need to embrace the uncertainty, and you need to accept that, especially at this time of year, things might not be perfect, and that's okay. But you will know, like I said, you're consistent. You're going to get back to it time and time again. And that's the main part and the most important part within teaching as well. So yeah, if I was going to set my New Year's goals and I was completely at the beginning of my fitness journey, they are 100% the 9 areas I would focus on as a teacher, which branch off into the 3 areas of time, energy, and consistency. If you can start taking hold of these 3 areas, I promise you the whole building in your health and fitness around teaching will feel so much more manageable. Anyway, I hope this helped. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, share this video with any of your teaching friends that might help, and I will catch you all on the next one.